Yeah. So can you tell us about that, what that was like for you?
I think on par to Monte Carlo, that was on the top of, my highlights of my career. Never expected it. 2 years prior, I think it was, I received the Florida Folk Heritage Award, which surprised me. I didn't even realize that circus was folk art, but it is. Folk art is an art form that's handed down from one generation to the next. It's not something really that you learn in school.
Right.
So that was great. And the person that inducted me into that knew about the National Endowment for the Arts, National Heritage Fellowship in D.C., which is national, and submitted me. And I won. And that was 2015. Right. And I was just blown away, because I was the first circus artist ever to receive this. Yeah. Mind you, I was up against all different types of artists.
Right.
There was a oud player, there was quilt makers, there was basket weavers, there was a blues singer, and every year they have, all different art forms of art. Right. And at the last day, you get to show your art in this auditorium, Lisner Auditorium. And so I got to fly. It was awesome. It was awesome. It really, really was. And I'm still kind of on cloud nine. Right. Because of it, yeah.
And that helped lead to the Circus Arts Conservatory being part of the Smithsonian Folklife Festival 2 years later.
Absolutely.
So there we were on the mall in Washington, D.C., the National Mall. And the organization helped curate that particular festival. And we've talked about that on the podcast before, but we haven't actually talked about what went into it. Can you talk a little bit about what went into bringing that together?
Oh, it was like a 2-year. We had a group here in Sarasota with the Ringling Museum and some other people, but we were this small group that made it happen. And it was bringing in all the youth circuses from around the nation, not all, but those that deserved and that could come.
Right.
And artists, and, we had our tent right on the mall. And it was just spectacular, the Capitol right up the ways. And it was great to see the excitement from the American people. It was the same year that Ringling closed the doors.
Oh, that's right. I had forgotten about that.
And so, a lot of people thought when Ringling closed that circus was over. And it was so refreshing to see, and for them to see that it's alive and thriving. Right. And I'm sure Pedro told you when he first came over, there was only a handful of circus schools, and now there's hundreds.
Right.
So it was great. It was really great. The kids got to perform. The main circus, I think it was my last performance when I performed there, the aerial pas de deux.
Oh, okay.
With my partner. Yeah, so that was a great place to finish my performing career.
Right, and there was an extra little stage for talking, so you
Absolutely.
got to tell your story along with a lot of other people.
Absolutely.
And then there was an education area that our education department was part of.
The Arts and Industry building had the kids doing demonstrations and workshops.
That's right.
That's great.
That building was set up. That was an amazing building because this is a building in Washington, D.C. that's not used very often, so they were able, part of the Smithsonian, they were able to set it up as a training facility, and people could come in and watch. And there were children doing aerial acts, and then they were doing tumbling, and then they were doing unicycles, all of this going on at the same time. It was really an incredible spectacle.
Yeah. I know. It really went over well. They were saying it was one of the best festivals they had.
And earlier in a different show, Tegan Allen, one of the ringmistresses, was talking about how she's still in touch with some of those other children that she met at the festival.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I just think it's absolutely fabulous.
I tell you, we turned people away. It was free to the public.
Right.
And we had shows every hour and a half, I think it was, but the tent would fill up, and you had to get them out and get the next group in. It was great. It was great. It was great orchestration in the sense of, because you'd go from a school circus presentation into a professional presentation that had the huge wheel and flying act or whatever, and so the guys deserve a lot of credit.
Who were able to
Pedro in charge of making that change in a short amount of time.
Right, and that was Something else that was also really incredible about that was that there were circuses from all over. So the Sailor Circus students and the other circus students that were there, they were exposed to circuses that they might not have been able to see otherwise, which was also really
great
cool.
Experience for all the kids that were there, all of them, not just ours, but for all the kids. But I'm so proud of our kids. Actually, one of my girls, two of them did the Roman ring act there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's truly wonderful.
Proud teacher.
So what else is there that this Circus Arts Conservatory does as an organization that you are most proud of?
Well, the outreach programs. Well, the outreach programs, we do the performance, we do the training, we do the outreach, and we preserve legacy.
Right.
So that legacy is high on my close to my heart because of my history and because of my family. And I feel very strongly about recognizing all the artists that came before and paved the way for the rest of us. And it's an art form that started hundreds of years ago. Right. And it's something that that should be recognized and respected. So I feel very close to all of them.
Right.
So, and the outreach programs you're able to go into the schools and use the art of circus to enhance learning.
Right.
And into the nursing homes, you get to bring the joy of the circus to elderly that aren't able to leave.
Right.
And bring, even if it's just a relationship building. Wonderful. The training, you're passing the torch. And the performance is also very, very close to my heart because a lot of times circus is stereotyped. And we put on a high-end performance, one-ring European style, clean. And we bring in acts, like I said, from all over the world.
Right.
And I'm thrilled with that because these people, and you wouldn't believe it, a lot of people that come into our tent during the big show have never seen a circus before.
Right. I've heard that.
So I'm so happy that they came to see ours because they see the best of the best. And we're not there to sell them popcorn, but it is there if they want it.
Right.
We're not there to sell them toys, but it is there if they want it. We don't push it on anybody. When the performance is going, nobody walks around selling souvenirs. It's the art and the artist that's in the ring doing their performance. So for me, it's real important. That, like I said, that's all important what we do.
Right.
I don't think one can top another, but I'm really proud of what we've achieved in this amount of time.
And just as an aside, we also, there's the nonprofit show that is done where nonprofits will come and bring people in wheelchairs and people that couldn't have a difficult time getting into the big top, and we specifically do a shorter for
the
them.
The letters we get and the people that come are so grateful.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about giving back.
It is.
You know, it really is. That's what life is about, is making a difference in somebody's life.
Yeah. Well, we really have to wrap it up because we're going to run out of time, but is there anything you want to say about circus changing, how you see it changing in the next few years?
The circus evolves like anything else.
Right.
And I think it's wonderful. The sound, the lights are better. The art is improving, just like in gymnastics it improves. So circus will be around forever.
Okay. Well, Dolly, I'd like to thank you so much.
It
was so interesting listening to everything you had to say. As I said earlier, for anybody, if you have questions or want more information, please check out our website, circusarts.org. And as always, I'd like to say, may all your days be circus days.